My name is EvanEra. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised. I do magic on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. I've been doing magic for pretty much all my life, since about 6, 7 years old. Doing videos for almost just as long, but on YouTube since about 2012. Actively since 2015. So I've been at it for 3 or 4 years full time, and this is one of my
You put
first
those
podcasts.
hours in, and a little bit backstory before I get into asking some
Sure.
of these questions is about this time last year, I interviewed Tom Mabe, who is very close to this guy, and he was mentioning this guy to me. And now it's about May, so about a full year now. Now I'm interviewing you, which I think is so cool, getting in a little bit, because when I grew up, I was watching all the prank guys.
Yeah.
So being able to sit here with you and meet Tom Mabe, this whole podcast experience has been crazy.
That's cool. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, by the way. And Tom has been really instrumental in a lot of people's careers on YouTube, but mine particularly. When I met him, I had about 300 subscribers on YouTube.
That's crazy. So,
And he kind of took me from there to really where I am now. We still work together quite a bit, not in the same office anymore. I kind of started out under his wing in his office, and then I kind of grew
nice
to a point
office.
where it's a beautiful office space that he has over there. He's actually got a really nice podcast studio as well. I met Tom just through a cold email that I sent him.
that's what I did. Hey, it works. If
Yeah,
anyone
it
wants
really
to meet
does.
anyone, cold email, people underestimate it.
Yep.
Cold email works.
It really does. Tom, to his credit, responded and was like, "Hey, yeah, come down." And he's just a really awesome guy. I owe him a lot.
Now, you mentioned doing it for 4 years. Was that your whole YouTube channel career from the time you had 300 to 4
I started the channel in 2012. It's actually kind of weird how I got started on YouTube. Have you ever seen the movie 8 Mile?
Oh, yeah.
Eminem,
Eminem,
rap
yeah.
battles. That was kind of the first thing I ever put on YouTube. Is I did rap battles for a rap battle league here in the city called Dope 16.
Dude, that's crazy. I just knew you were the vlog guy. I want to know more about that.
So I was rapping with. I've always loved hip hop, and I found this local rap league called Dope 16, and I started doing the videography for them because I've always loved cameras. So I was doing all the filming, all the editing, and posting it to their YouTube channel. And the owner of the league, a guy named Bruce Betts, he actually gave me ownership of the secondary YouTube channel for the league.
Oh, shoot.
It was called the Gauntlet. It was kind of the proving ground for Dope 16. So if you were new to it or you hadn't proved yourself yet, you would battle in the Gauntlet to get into Dope 16.
Yeah.
So I did the videos for that too, and I posted all those to that YouTube channel. And since I had ownership of it, I got any of the money that came from the AdSense. And that was the first taste of YouTube money that I ever got. And I realized that you could actually make money off the platform. And that was really early. That was 2011
I was
probably.
about to ask, how old were you?
I was 2011. It's probably 21, 22, something like that.
Jesus, so you're around our age and you're out here rapping it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
At these venues in the city. And we did events there. And it was actually really popular. And I had a couple battles go viral, and I've been on World Star Hip Hop for that.
No way.
Yeah, really early, kind of 2010, 2011 era of the internet. And that was kind of my first taste of virality online, was World Star. And some of my
What?
battles getting on there. And then I was working with the league, and the league shut down. So I then created my own channel, and that's how EvanEraTV was born, because I wanted the battles that I did with them to still be
live
online
on.
somewhere.
Gotcha.
So I talked to Bruce, who owned the league, and I was like, "Hey, can I still post these? I just really want them to be online." And we had a really good working relationship. So he was like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And the first video I ever posted to my channel was actually a rap battle from Dope 16.
Can you still see that if you go
yeah,
oldest?
that's still on there.
That's so crazy. So that was 6 years ago?
Yeah, probably 6 years ago now, I think.
So what made you, after you did the rap battles, what made you go to vlogs? Was that just, I wanted to see the day in life?
I hadn't done anything with the channel in a long time. I went into some other entrepreneurial ventures. I started a business in Oldham County, where I'm from, called Food Taxi. It's really similar to what Postmates is now, or Uber Eats.
See, you had the mindset before anyone else did.
Yeah, totally. I saw that one coming. Yeah, I had a food delivery service, which was relatively successful there. And then I exited that, and I was trying to develop an app at the time to basically be what Postmates is now. And I was doing that, and I was pitching at local VC places like Venture Connectors to try and find people to invest and stuff like that. And at the same time, I was doing YouTube vlogging, because I'd seen the videos with Tom and Roman doing the pranks, and pranking wasn't really my thing, but I loved the vlogging aspect of it. And I saw Roman doing vlogs and a couple other people doing vlogs, and
hardcore,
that it was getting a lot of viewership, and I was like, well, okay, I can do that. So I was vlogging, and then I met Tom, and it kind of took off
crazy.
from there.
So it just spout, because I know you still tried to do vlogs a little bit after you met Tom for about, I think you said 2 years?
Yeah, I still do vlogs occasionally. But I mean, Tom made me realize that, like, you have to have something to kind of plant your flag on, as far as, like, there's something to attract people to the channel more than just vlogging your daily life. Because why
do people care about your life yet?
Right. What is the hook that makes people care? So I kind of just examined, like, what talents do I have? Like, what have I always been interested in? And I just started making different videos, and I made a magic video, and it ended up getting like 100,000 views in a matter of a week. And I was like, whoa.
Was that just super organic? Like, you
Totally
didn't know
organic.
viral was gonna, like...
Totally organic. And I just felt like, okay, this is the market, like, speaking to me here. Obviously, the vlog video that's getting like 90 views or 70 views versus the magic video that's getting 100,000 views. Which one?
If anything was a sign.
Yeah. So I definitely just took the signs of the universe that were presented to me and kind of just kept doing that, and it's...
So why magic though? Was that like a little did you do magic as a kid for fun?
I probably got into magic around 6 or 7 when my dad, we would go out to dinner and he would just do like little tricks around the dinner table, like to kill time before the food got there. And that was like where I first got interested in it, and he would show me these little tricks. And we would come down to, there's a magic shop here in the city called Caulfield's Novelty, and we would get tricks from there. And he worked at a hardware store in the city that doesn't exist anymore. It was called Levy's, and he worked there with Lance Burton's father, who's a famous magician, a Vegas magician who's from here. And Lance came to town to do a show, and we got to meet him.
Oh, shoot. So that sparked the fume right there.
Yeah, so that really sparked my interest.
That was the catalyst of it.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward a little bit, once you got into doing magic all the time, do you have any funny magic stories of when you went out in the streets and did magic?
Yeah. Well, actually, like, prior to doing YouTube, I performed magic for a living. Like doing walk-around magic here in the city, not only just for tips, but I would also perform at some of the art centers here in the city and get paid from that. And I did like kids' birthday parties and project graduations and stuff like that. So like my roots definitely like are in magic. I've been doing it for a long time, and I also created tricks for other magicians.
Really? Okay, that's awesome.
And we had a couple of them, like, kind of get a little mainstream success early on, where David Blaine was looking at one of them for one of his TV specials, and some really, like, interesting names in the magic community that I worked with previous to YouTube. So the magic thing, like, as organic as it seemed to happen, like, looking back, the dots really connected as far as, like everything kind of just being this perfect storm of like the magic and like the video making and the vlogging kind of playing a role in it too, because it was like a more personal kind of the show kind of
Right.
became like me and my daughter Ava, and like me showing her tricks, and like it became
Oh, okay.
very kind of family
Yeah.
oriented, like almost like a vlog, but with magic in it to a degree, and like with the teaching, it was very engaging, and it's weird how it all kind of came together.
You know, I think it's crazy that you break the one magic trick rule, which is a magician never reveals his secrets.
Yeah. And I get a lot of heat for that too. I'm always like walking this fine line of delivering value to the audience because they want to learn how the things are done and learn stuff that they can do at home, and really pissing off magicians who don't want the secret revealed.
Right.
But, you know, I have some friends in the magic community, and one of my friends, Jay Sankey, says that, like, if you never pass on the secret to the trick, then the illusion kind of just, like, dies with the magician. Like, if you're not passing on the knowledge, then the art kind of doesn't get to, like, live on.
And I feel like there's always still going to be that person that doesn't know. And there's different, and that makes you change it up, too. Like,
right.
Sometimes you got to change up that same old trick that you do every day. And
yeah, it forces innovation. When, like, you know, all the old tired tricks are kind of like known, you have to come up with something new. But yeah, I'm always kind of ticking off magicians who don't agree with revealing tricks, but I definitely feel like if you're looking for the answers, like looking for the secrets to the tricks, and you're like seeking out that sort of info on YouTube, you're probably like a magician to some degree yourself, and you're not just a lay person like looking to.
And you're not just like, oh, I gotcha.
Right. You know, I feel like it's a little bit different the way people find my channel, but I don't know. That is definitely something that I do break that rule, which
I find was the most interesting because I think that it helps at least boost or give you a different dynamic in how you are a magician too, which I think is awesome because you know all the kids want to learn it, and you make some of them very like step by step easier to learn than trying to make yourself levitate kind of thing.
Yeah, our most popular stuff is like the easy things that people can do at home.
Definitely, and another thing to talk about your YouTube is your thumbnails are crazy good, like crazy like accurate. And I think that.
Oh, thanks.
How do you do that? Do you have like a team that just markets on thumbnail colors? Because colors are a big part too.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because that's 100% me too.
I figured you still
I
have
did Photoshop like for a long time before getting to YouTube as well. So thumbnails playing such an important role in success on YouTube was another one of those like perfect storm things where like my skill set just kind of seemed to perfectly line up with it. So I kind of just observe like what other people are doing as far as thumbnails that work, and obviously like bright, colorful stuff really seems to play well. Close-ups of things, and interestingly now, recently, it's like the more weird or crazy the thumbnail looks, obviously with magic, like something floating or like something going through something else, like for some reason hands and fingers seem to be extremely popular in
YouTube's weird, man. YouTube's weird.
It's strange. Like the weirder the thumbnail is, or like the more screwed up it is. You
see some of these channels that are just they've caught on to that trend too, and their thumbnails will be like super busy. Like you're just like, what's going on here? I guess I'll click on it.
Right, it is clickbait in a way. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. We're always kind of experimenting to just see what's going to work, and that's something that's really worked well for my overall internet career. Is just experimenting and seeing what works and not being afraid to just try something different. And if it doesn't get a ton of views or likes or engagement, then well, at least we tried it. Because you never know. Like in a lot of cases where I've just experimented with a different type of thumbnail, that ends up getting like a ton of clicks, and we'll kind of take that same formula and do it again. And you just never know. So
that's a perfect point too. Is like you just try, because a lot of people like to dwell and not like they're playing like what's going to be the perfect, and they won't post it if it's not perfect. But sometimes you just got to post it and see what the market thinks before, because if you don't post anything, then you won't be a YouTuber. You won't do anything.
Avoid that analysis paralysis that people
And something, listen to your story. I've noticed that your entrepreneur tendencies have gone way back. So would you say you're a purebred entrepreneur? Like you've been an entrepreneur, like that mindset's been there the whole time?
Yeah, definitely. I've always been kind of the kid that sold stuff, And,
That's crazy. What was the first thing that you sold?
I definitely remember like setting up a magic show for my family and like charging them for tickets, which is like, so full
What
circle.
a guy! You're just like, I know I can make money.
It's one of my earliest memories because I remember I spelled tickets wrong, like on the sign, and my sister made fun of me for it. And
Older sister?
Yeah, my older sister. She's a gem. She actually runs the merchandise side of the company.
Because I know so many YouTubers that do that, where they have the family get into it too.
Yeah, man.
And
it's
they
really awesome.
they bring their whole family up with it.
Yeah,
They're just not like greedy, like I'm having all of it.
Yeah, it's been really great. My sister is awesome, and my daughter Ava loves it. She loves being in the videos and loves the magic, obviously.
I've seen that. That's so cool.
She just did some magic in her school talent show, and that was really fun.
Runs in the family.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
That's so crazy. So goes way back. You went to Oldham County for grade school?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's
Was
a
that grade
suburb
school,
of
high
Louisville.
school, both?
Yeah, I went to Oldham County schools throughout childhood. Oldham County is like a suburb of Louisville, for people who don't know. And yeah, I went to Centerfield Elementary. It's a little elementary school out in the country, and Oldham County Middle School, Oldham County High School, and then University of Louisville here in the city.
Oh, so you graduated University of Louisville for what?
I did not graduate.
Okay, that's what I was like. I was waiting for that because I was like, you're too much of an entrepreneur.
No, I dropped out after 2 years
Interesting.
here at U of L, and then I moved to Oregon, actually. Eugene, Oregon, and Bend, Oregon. Spent about 6 months or maybe a year there, and I was going to enroll at the University of Oregon, but it wasn't working out, like with the living situation there. And I moved back to Kentucky and just kind of started over here, and for a bit there was kind of like lost, didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I started performing walk-around magic in the city, which is kind of like how I was talking about earlier in the story.
Right.
Connected with that.
And that was about the same time as you started the rap and everything?
Yeah.
So that's so much. Do you think that's because, like, deep down you knew you're just an entrepreneur, you knew that that's not what you want to do, or I don't know what you went to college for, but like...
English major. Yeah, I wanted
Does
to be
not
a
sound
lawyer,
like it.
actually.
sounds the polar opposite of what you're good at.
Yeah.
Like you're good at creative and expressing, and lawyers like down. And
yeah. It's interesting because like I had that ambition for a while, and I think it was totally like put in my head because lawyers make a lot of money.
That's very true.
My mom had this friend who was an attorney and had been for like 20 or 30 years, and I talked to this guy, and he was kind of my mentor through the whole thing, and he just wasn't a fantastic mentor in the sense that he wasn't exactly happy with his position. Like
you can't. Yeah.
So like it wasn't extremely motivating because he had been in practice for 20 or 30 years and still really wasn't where he wanted to be. So it wasn't like there wasn't like a lot of glam to it.
It's
like,
hard to look up to someone when they're not happy themselves.
Yeah. So that was kind of.
It's not a good role model.
Yeah, I didn't have an extremely great role model there. And yeah, it just didn't. Oh, it just didn't really like spark with me. And I don't know that I always thought I was an entrepreneur per se.
Well, yeah, back then, like, it wasn't as popular.
Yeah,
it
like,
wasn't
it's
as,
definitely become glamorized now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of just, I don't know, it kind of just worked out. I wouldn't say I actually set out to do this, really. It's kind of just...
Yeah, like you said, you just tried a whole bunch of things, and...
really, that's it.
Really what stuck, like, you can't dwell on anything you try. You
Absolutely.
just try it. And it sounds like you tried a whole bunch of stuff that you enjoyed, and then you figured out which one worked best for you.
Yeah, and a lot of those things didn't work out. I think it's Mark Cuban says you only need to be right once. Yeah, and I really like I was right at that like one thing, and I just like kept repeating it. And I can't remember who said it. I always try to credit people when I quote them. Like when you find something that works, double down on that. And like the stuff that's not working that you romantically really want to work, you've got to let go of it and like focus on the thing that's really working.
Well, you can do that as a side thing too, just for
Sure,
fun. Like, it doesn't
absolutely.
have to be money.
If that's what like really fulfills you on like a personal level, by all means, continue to do that. But recognize like the thing that the market is really telling you to do. And for me, that was how-to magic videos.
That's amazing. Like you just went through all like 3 completely different things.
Yeah, vastly different. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with where it's ended up. It's been crazy so far.
So amazing.
Yeah, and it's still really early. To me, I feel really early in it still.
100%.
And
4 years?
Yeah, and I'm like really happy that I got in when I did. It was kind of, I felt like the heyday of
You
like,
got on
YouTube.
a good time again.
Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy. I'm really interested to see where things are, like even a year from now or 5 years from now. It's gonna be crazy. Just
And starting a podcast, maybe?
Yeah, like I definitely think this is one of the next steps for us. Podcasting is becoming so popular.
You know who to call.
You're very ahead of the game. How long have you been doing the podcast?
31st will be the full year. So I started May 31st.
Nice.
I started with my friend. We did a little thing called Two Guys Talking Over Tea, which didn't do well. I did 2 episodes. He realized he didn't like it that much. And then I realized, still wanted to do, because I love the podcast thing, so I ended up getting a guest, and the first guest I had was Tom Mabe, and that's how
Tom was your first guest?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
At first, like, I just cold email works. No, I think I
Really
DM'd
does.
him on Instagram, and his Instagram, I didn't know he'd be active on it, and I woke up to a message from him, and I freaked out.
That was the same way when Tom emailed me back. Like, it
Yeah, I was
really...
like,
Because I was very starstruck to even meet him.
God, yeah, I was.
Yeah, dude, it's, because were you born here?
I was.
Like being born and raised here, like I'd never really met very many celebrities. I'd met like a couple people who were here for Derby, but Tom was like a huge celebrity to me.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it was
He's big.
it was surreal to actually have him respond and go meet him
And be such a nice and down to earth guy.
he's
dude.
so just genuine and has always been nothing but just kind to me. I really, like, there's very few people, I've said this so many times, but there's few people I can say, like, really changed my life. That guy really changed my life. He really did. Like, for me and my family.
It's so interesting that we both had that same story of connecting with him.
Yeah.
And that we both watched him on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because he goes way back to just doing pranks, like candid camera pranks.
Yes, he
And,
was famous before the internet,
Yeah.
interestingly, and had, like, a CMT show and stuff, which I never really knew him for.
We just knew.
Yeah, I totally just knew him from YouTube. So he kind of was famous with a previous generation, like my parents' generation. A lot of those people know who he is. Like when I bring him up in conversation to people that I meet around Louisville, everybody knows who he is from like the older generation. But yeah, a lot of the younger generation, like our age, know who he is from YouTube. He kind of had like
That's so crazy, and it's so cool to have a local person like with
yeah,
that much of a YouTube
that
reach.
was really inspiring to me because like just seeing someone else from here make it and have that role model was really helpful.
I'm glad we're seeing that a lot more now.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow.
Yeah, 502 come up.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
For real.
Yeah, Bryson Tiller, Jack Harlow. Yeah, man, it's really. I think Gary V. You listen to Gary V. Love Gary V.
Yes, dude.
Everybody loves.
We
Gary
saw
V.
him. My camera guy and I saw him a few weeks ago. We went to Chicago.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest things ever.
Yeah, man, he's fantastic. Huge inspiration as well. I was so thrown off by talking about Gary. I don't remember what I was going to say that he said. I can't remember.
Well, how about this?
That's what it was. That if someone who looks like you has made it, then it's totally possible for you to make
that's
it.
why, yeah, Gary Vee.
Yeah, and like people, like Louisville's not the entertainment capital of the world by any means. So, like prior to the internet really popping off, like if you wanted to be an actor or a singer, like
drive all the way to Cali.
yeah, like that, and you had to be extremely lucky to even like most people ended up as a server out there, like not getting their break because you had to know people.
That was an old running joke for a long time.
Yeah, which is like kind of a thing of the past now because of the internet. So I think it's just there's so much opportunity like for people from here to make it. Like it was inspiring for me to see Tom and like Roman, who's from Ohio, and Dennis, who's from Ohio.
No, that's
like,
what I was
close
about
here.
to mention. That is, I'm seeing more people from small towns or small cities actually become more popular in a lot of those, and like I haven't heard as many as the stories of course you still hear stories of California people getting famous because it happens, but I'm hearing a lot more Ohio, Wisconsin, Kentucky, just everywhere.
Yeah, you just have the access now that you didn't have before, so that was really a big thing for me, was seeing people from here.
100%. I know, like, I didn't know when I was watching him for the longest time that he was from here, and then I recognized Seneca Park, and I was like,
Yeah, I didn't know for the
freaking
longest
out.
time either, and then I saw the video that had like Louisville police cop cars in it, and I was like, oh, who is from here? And I like started looking into it and realized that Tom was based here, and then I emailed him, and yeah, the rest is history.
That's so cool. So have you been to a lot of big events like VidCon?
Yeah.
Have you ever been starstruck, or who is your biggest celebrity that?
I've met Steve-O. That was really cool. He's
What a
actually
guy.
friends with Tom.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a connection
Yeah,
there.
Tom knows everybody, dude. I met Tom Green through Tom Mabe, who I grew up watching the Tom Green show on MTV. So that was a really cool experience. He's such a nice guy. I met Jenna Marbles, who I've watched for a long time.
YouTube legend.
Yeah, absolutely legendary. She's so nice in person.
That's good to hear because I like to hear that
super
these
nice.
big YouTubers.
Her and Julian, both really just great people. And Jesse Wellens, super cool. Gina as well. And Vitaly, super great dude. Dennis Rohde, I can't say enough great things about.
He's just one of those super charismatic guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dennis has like been huge help in my career too. Not so much as Tom, but like I met Dennis through Tom, and Dennis really kind of like the collab that I did with Dennis like skyrocketed my channel. And I knew it was
back then. Like he was.
I knew it was going to happen. It
to
was How to Prank was really popping.
How to Prank It Up.
Yep, How to Prank It Up was really popping off, and I knew our audiences would cross over really well with the How to Magic thing. And I had around like 20,000 subscribers at the time.
Really good.
It was amazing because I had gotten the push from Tom, and like
I'd like to have that.
I reached out to Dennis and I was like, hey Tom, push my channel, and like, I've got probably 25,000 subs right now. I'd really love to do something with you. I'll provide all the stuff for the video. I'll do everything, and yeah, he FaceTime called me because I didn't have his number, which I'd never gotten like a call, not FaceTime, Facebook. Like you can call someone through Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And like called me through Facebook, and at that time I'd only met him like a couple times when he came to Tom's office, so I was extremely starstruck to talk to him. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then like next week I went up to Columbus where he lives, or Cincinnati, and we filmed the video for his channel and a video for my channel. And I got back home, edited my video, and it's ready to go. And we go to post it, and he had a problem with the audio on his camera, so like none of the audio recorded. So like the entire episode was just shot. So I'm like devastated, like, oh man, because we put a lot of work into it. So he was like, don't worry about it, everything happens for a reason. I'm going to come down to Louisville next week to film with Tom. We'll just reshoot it. So we refilm it, and we put the videos up, and it's to this day the most viewed video on Dennis's channel. Jeez. It's got like 31 million views on YouTube.
That's viral.
And it just launched my channel. I think I got like 300,000 subs out of it in a matter of a couple weeks. So that was like a huge moment.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I find it so cool that I guess because you were helped so much at the beginning and reached out, that the fact that I could reach out to you and then you respond was so cool.
Sorry it took me so long.
No, when I message people like that are so busy and so like, up there, that I know that they're doing something more important than doing some random podcast.
Persistence is key. I definitely have like cold emailed a lot of people and just like started relationships that way. But yeah, you gotta be understanding that their inbox is probably full of emails from people, and if you're just polite and persistent, like people generally get back to you if you give them time. But yeah, I mean, it's just busy schedule when you run a company and you're also the face of the company and you're having to be on screen and answer all the emails and pay all the taxes and do all that stuff. It can be a lot to just get around to returning an email sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we made it happen. It's been really fun.
It's so cool. So a little bit more about kind of what are your future plans for YouTube, for anything that you're doing, future plans for maybe EvanEra for going a different way, or are you thinking you're going to stay Magic, or what's a little bit more about where's your mindset?
I have a lot of different things I want to do, and it's kind of like prioritizing. Live tour is definitely something that is going to be in the next year and a half.
You've done one before, right?
We haven't done a live show tour. We did like a tour. We went around the world to film a video, essentially, or a series of videos, but we didn't do like live shows in the locations, which is something I kind of regret because it would have been really fun. So the next venture, the really big thing that we're gearing up for, is booking like venues here in the U.S. to do the first like 3 or 4 cities for a live show tour, and then internationally to do 3 or 4 cities there, and kind of just get our format down for what exactly the show is going to be. And also booking the venues is a tremendous undertaking with the amount of insurance and capital that has to be put up to reserve it, and it's a lot to ship all of our equipment there. So we're kind of just putting plans together for that. We're putting together a how-to magic book.
That's going to be cool.
Which is a project I'm really excited about.
Yeah, how many people do you have to email for that? Like
quite a few.
Who are you doing the book through?
I know this wonderful lady named Angela who heads up the author incubator, and we're gonna work on it with her. But she doesn't know that yet, so if you're watching this is the first time hearing about it. But I actually met her in Washington, D.C. at Playlist Live, which is another kind of VidCon type event that a lot of YouTubers go to. But I'm putting the book together through her, and I'm trying to get contributions from all the people that I know within the magic community to kind of contribute.
Network.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of get their contributions of anything that they wanted to add to the book. So yeah, it's going to be a really fun project, and I also I'm working on an album.
Oh shoot!
So I know
bringing rap back.
Yeah, I'm bringing, kind of making it full circle and bringing kind of music element back into the brand, which is interestingly where it started. But most people that are in my current audience don't know that.
That's why they need to listen to this.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely share this, and everyone from my channel who's listening right now. Album dropping.
That's
sometime soon. I don't know. We're still working on it, but
is it going to be filmed here in Louisville?
We're gonna do similar music videos. I know one will definitely be in here in Louisville.
This spot's pretty cool if you need it.
Yeah, I love the old theater.
The theater would be pretty cool, and we love when big things happen. Like we just started like launching this, and because it's supposed to be a non-profit for.
Oh really?
So the guy that runs it, he's been paying out of pocket, taking that hit to keep this building running. Mm-hmm. He's a nice guy. If we run into him, I'd love for you to meet him. Super. But I think one last question, because I noticed that we need to get out of here before you run out of time.
Yeah.
Is what's your one thing, like one mindset or one quote that you just live by that keeps you going? Because you couldn't have got here all the way without having that killer mindset that I know you have.
Definitely. Laugh at Life is like kind of the brand that spawned from the channel. So that's like my first lead answer.
I love it. Elaborate on it.
It's really like don't take anything too seriously. It's kind of just like a reiteration of like a lot of what you already hear and know, like inherently. Just that life can be really difficult sometimes, and it's not so much in what happens to you, it's how you react to it.
Amazing.
So it's like I've had a lot of instances where it's just like sometimes the best medicine is laughter. The best answer to the situation is just to find the humor in it. It's really worked for me.
100%. And they say hanging around the 5 people, you know, everyone knows that. I don't even need to say it. But you've hung around so many people that live by the same thing. Roman Atwood, Smile More.
Very similar to Smile More, yeah.
Huge.
It's kind of inspired. I can't lie. I was inspired by Roman's brand.
Well, listen, you hang around them so much that you've gotten.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it was kind of understanding, again, it's like modeling someone's behavior who's been successful in a place that you want to be is kind of a good formula. Like, I don't know if we said this, I don't know if we were rolling for this, but we were just talking about, like, how to kind of get the ball rolling, and I really just analyzed, like, okay, I see what Roman's doing, I see what Tom's doing, I see what Dennis is doing, and I want to have something similar with my own twist on it. So it's kind of, this was like a motto that I always like kind of just believed in and kind of just said like in my own life. So I felt like Smile More was kind of a similar thing for Roman, just something that you actually like believe in, and that's a big key to it too. I think like actually finding like if you want to create a brand like that, something that you actually stand for, not just something to push to sell merch. So yeah, it's kind of it happened organically.
And I have no doubt that you had that way before you met them too. Like you couldn't have gotten anywhere close if you didn't have anywhere of like a mindset where if like all the things happen to build up. I'm sure you haven't talked about a lot of hardships that you went through. I'm sure there's a few, but it's a great mindset. I lived out
of a car for a while, so
What?
Yeah,
how did we miss that?
Yeah, man. When I moved back from Oregon, I didn't want to move back in with my parents, so it was kind of like a pride thing too. But
how long was that?
Only about a week.
Okay,
and I definitely still showered like at my sister's house for that. So I mean, definitely hard times and struggle. But yeah, definitely wouldn't be who I am without that. And that struggle and that like coming from humble beginnings really galvanizes you for the amount of work and the amount of, for lack of a better term, punches in the face that you're going to take throughout your entrepreneurial career. So it's definitely a marathon. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues, and it's really is. It's like entrepreneurship is a marathon. YouTube's a marathon.
Life is a marathon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long game.
100%. Well, thank you so much, Evan, for taking time out of your day.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's been really fun. I want to come back and do it again.
Yeah, a great episode. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.